What's your plan with the quarterback position this week?
We got about as good a news as we could have gotten on Adrian, so he's going to be day-to-day. But we're going to get guys reps, get Andrew as many reps as we can, get Matt reps and potentially somebody else. So want to go into the game with at least 3 guys.
So it feels good that Adrian could play this game Saturday.
I think there's a chance, yeah. Like I said, we got about as good a news off the examination as we could have gotten. So he's a little sore, but doing a lot better today than I expected, and I don't think it'll be very long.
What they say about the knees, Liz?
I just don't want to talk about details much, but I will tell you there's no real ligament damage at all.
After looking at that play, you need to talk to somebody about that, or review, how that injury happened. As far as, was it a dirty play, or was it a little extra quick activity going on there?
I'm careful how I answer that. You never want to think anybody on a football field would intentionally try to hurt someone else, and nobody except someone that does that knows what the intentions were. I will tell you, we have an angle that doesn't look very good. So we've turned the play into the Big Ten and the Pac-12, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Did that ever happen to you in your play?
No, you have guys that reach and grab you in bad places under the pile, and guys stepping on you with cleats. But again, I don't know what the intentions were. I just know the angle I've seen that I don't think is out there doesn't look good at all, and everybody's going to have to make their own determination.
Some other news was sort of broken from your guys up here. It sounds like some yellow jerseys were removed. What does it mean to put some black shirts on those players?
We want the black shirt to mean something. I told the guys in the meeting this morning, we had a long meeting this morning, a longer meeting, and talked about a lot of things. But one of the things I told them was I was proud of the effort, the physicality. We had a lot of guys on defense that I think played well enough to earn black shirts. We're just not going to give them all out at once. So I think we had about 7 guys that we thought their work over time deserved them. I think several more deserved it from the game, but I expect them to get it soon. DiCaprio played physical. He was where he was supposed to be all the time. Obviously, there's a couple great plays by them, honestly, on fades with throws and catches that he was involved in, but just taking his full body of work from spring ball and camp and how he played in that game, and glad to be able to give him one.
What you got out of your 4 top linebackers Saturday, is that kind of what you were thinking was coming from those guys?
I got to tell you, going into that game, and I don't want to look backwards much, but going into that game, I didn't really know what to expect. I knew we had improved. I knew we had practiced well. You just never really know until you hit the field. Would have been nice to see that in week 1 without losing that game. Going into the game, the 2 things that I would have wished for the most was a win first and keeping everybody, particularly quarterback, healthy. So we didn't get the top 2 things done, and we're all sick to our stomach about that. Aside from that, we got down 14-0 because of mistakes that we self-inflicted, and the team didn't blink. They just kept playing. The defense was physical. I loved the enthusiasm. I loved the camaraderie and the way they were playing for each other. And they don't give you wins for moral victory, so we're not going to celebrate anything. But I told the team today how excited I was for them and how happy I was for the way they showed up and played.
How would you grade your blocking on the perimeter with the receivers, and how big is that for kind of breaking some of those runs and going the distance?
Yeah, there's several things that we need to fix. Obviously, some of the glaring mistakes that cost us the game. Any one of the things get fixed, and I think the result's different. Perimeter blocking is one of them. We had a couple option plays where if we'd have got a block, it would have been a big play for us. Through a couple bubbles that should have been yards and weren't because we didn't block well on the perimeter. That's got to be a big part of this game. When we get the ball outside, it's got to turn into yards for us and big plays for us, and we'll keep practicing that and trying to fix it.
Scott,
point would you want to make a decision on the quarterback if he's ready to go?
In a situation like this, it could be game day. We're going to do everything we can to get other guys ready. He's going to do everything he can to get healthy and learn the game plan. And I imagine we won't be able to make a final decision until probably Saturday.
Did you feel like your backs and receivers, once they got the ball, maximized their opportunity to make the explosive plays you want them to make?
In some circumstances, yes. In others, no. Greg Bell's a fast kid. He broke a couple times. I honestly think our guys were so amped up that maybe adrenaline got him a little tight, and Greg looked like he was tight when he broke through instead of just loose and running. We need those plays to turn into touchdowns when we get pop guys through that cleanly. He knows it, and I'm sure he'll do a better job in the future. We got to capitalize on deep balls and catching them, and third down balls and catching them, and every single player on the team did really good things. Every guy that played. And you can count mistakes that I made and the coaches made, and just about every player on the team had one or two. And that's the progression, right? When you're trying to get a team where you want to get it, you got to learn how to win the close games, and that's by not making mistakes and figuring out a way to make a play when it counts. We wish we could have learned those lessons in a win, and we should have. But we need to learn them regardless, and we're going to be in a few more, probably several more close games this year, so we need to learn the lessons quick.
Scott, two things. Did Adrian tell you guys that he thought that his knee got messed up after the tackle by somebody in the pile? Did he convey that to you?
No, I didn't. I talked to Adrian on the field for a second just about how he felt. I didn't need him to tell me. I had a good view of it from the sideline.
Did you get a number on the culprit?
Yeah, we know who it was. We turned it in to the right people. And yeah, you guys will see the video, I'm sure, sooner or later. And like I said, I can't speculate what intentions were, so everybody's going to have to make their own conclusion.
Do you have any plans to add anyone else to the quarterback mix in terms of an emergency player or with reps at all?
Yeah, we got a couple ideas. Obviously, we don't have the depth there that we'd like to have, so we have to have somebody ready to go in case the worst case happens, and we're kind of sorting through options there right now.
How would the offense change if Bunches is in the game? I'm asking you to do a game plan, but what does he do well?
Bunchy, when he's gotten his opportunities, has done a great job. And in fact, I was really pleased with how he performed when he came in. Quite frankly, threw a ball that probably should have put the game away for us if we get a first down on the throw that he made. We're not going to change because of who he is. We'll try to alter it a little to make sure that he's comfortable with what we have in, but there's not going to be wholesale changes. He knows our stuff, and he's done a good job running it.
What do you know about Troy and just their history? They won 11 games last year, one at LSU, among other things.
They're a good team. You had a rough game. Boise had a lot of big plays against them. Otherwise, it looked like a really evenly matched game. They're well coached. They wouldn't have had the year they had last year without that. I think they're a little like us. They're playing a bunch of new players and are young. They are very multiple on defense. You're never quite sure what they're going to be in and where they're going to be. I think they're kind of similar to us on offense, try to go fast and do some creative things. So it's going to be a challenge for us, and our team's got to rally around each other and rally around whoever's playing quarterback.
Scott, they're one of those dangerous teams that go on the road. Beat LSU last year, played Clemson close a couple of years ago. Is this kind of one of those games you need to tell the players this is a tough team to watch?
I hope I don't need to tell the players anything to get them to play hard, but we know the challenge we have coming in here, and I got a lot of respect for their staff and their team and what they've accomplished. So we're going to work as hard as we can this week to be ready.
How did you feel like your special teams as a whole did?
At times, special teams played really well, but you can pick the 60 things where we made a little mistake or too many mistakes to win a game like that. And our field position certainly wasn't good. Our starting field position on offense, 4 penalties on special teams, makes a big difference. And maybe if we start one of those drives 10 or 15 yards farther up the field, we score somewhere else. So there's some really good things on special teams, but kind of similar. We need to figure out ways not to make mistakes and ways to win a game like that.
Vegas plays a lot of base defense, you know, or football times. What do you and Eric like about that group? What about the beats and stuff with the pass?
We played base, we played nickel, we played a couple other groups. Most of the time you want your 11 best players on the football field, and as long as we're not put at a disadvantage from that standpoint, we're going to put the best guys out there. Thought Eric had a good game plan. Anytime you get 7 sacks and hold the team to 44 yards rushing, have almost 600 yards of offense on your side, if you look at the stat sheet, you think you're going to win, but that's what turnovers do, and that's what mistakes do. And you know, this team has to learn some of those lessons. I just wish we could have learned those lessons in a win.
Some coaches don't like these 11-man games, but is this kind of in your wheelhouse the next couple of weeks, the way you practice early and all that?
Yeah, our team's used to getting up and practicing in the morning. A lot of people have gone to that, but I know our guys are. It's great for me. I get to go home and see my son after the game.
Other questions for Coach?
How'd you like your offensive line week 1, just kind of looking at the tape?
I thought they did a good job. They fought. I think it was pretty clear watching the tape that we were the more physical team and won the battle on both sides of the line of scrimmage. We made some mistakes there. Hard to pick them up. You know, we missed one protection on a play where their corner fell down and we had a guy wide open. Made very few mental errors on the offensive line, which is great to see. The 1 or 2 that we did made cost us a couple plays. And again, you know, I said after the game, I think there was 20 or 25 plays that probably cost us. If you look at the tape, it's a bigger number than that. And 1 or 2 of those things we get fixed, and I think we win it. So everybody's to blame. Everybody has things to fix, including the coaches, and we're going to keep working.
I know you awarded 2 blackshirts to that defensive line, but is that challenging with as many guys as you got playing? And, you know, I mean, a lot of guys not sacks. Is that going to be a kind of a challenge figuring out who gets them and who doesn't?
Listen, I want 50 guys with black shirts. We're not just going to give them to everybody that plays because they're playing. And it's not a one-game thing. It's a body of work thing. We had a bunch of guys on the D-line that made plays and played well. The Twins played really well. They played well enough in that game to deserve them. We just want to see a little more, and I expect other guys to have them very soon.
Anything else? Dame on the same line, Damian Daniels, and that's the first college game he's played. I think he's 19. I just feel like he played in his first game.
Thought Damian did well, did some good things. Like I said, little mistakes here and there from everybody, but was pleased with a lot of those guys on the D-line, including Damian's performance in Game 1. We're going to need a lot of those guys to roll through to keep people fresh. As many snaps as we're planning on getting on offense, the defense is going to get a lot too. The more guys that you have that are capable of going in and playing, the better off we are.